Hello, hello, hello. How you guys doing? This is good old Grandmaster Robin here, and this is the Anonymous Republic Network. And it is Saturday, 8:10 p.m. And I got done watching a documentary. And everybody else who's listening, this is also the Anonymous Liberty Media podcast. It's been a while, and going to get down to some important shot here. So I got done watching a documentary. It was about the 25th anniversary of the riot in Los Angeles, and which costed over $1 billion worth of damage. Yeah, $1 billion worth of damage. And comparing the riots in Watts, Los Angeles. Now, what happened in 1991, 92 was insane. We have riots, we have looting in not just in Los Angeles once again. This is 29 years to the day, years from what happened in Los Angeles in 1991. This time started in Minneapolis. Again, 4 officers. This time, 4 officers were charged. Now, the death here has some mixed emotions, mixed reviews on how he died. Now, whenever somebody gets arrested, it depends on who the person is, the character. Now, I wouldn't put Eric. I would, but I wouldn't put Eric Gardner on this list because Eric Gardner was not a criminal. He was a business owner that was murdered by an NYPD undercover officer. Now, the chokehold was banned years ago, a long time ago. It was banned. But somehow, police officers still use this chokehold. Now, there's been fights to reform the justice system, not just local, not just state, but also federal. There's been pushbacks from the other side. But what we have here is a guy, George Floyd. I mentioned this before, I'll say it again. The guy should have gone to the hospital. There was more footages out that he was under the influence of drugs. He had drugs in the system. instead of, look, I could agree with anybody. The way he died should never happen. Knee on the neck, it does not look good for the officer who was just bailed out yesterday. Take him to the hospital. Get him in the car. Get him in the car. Don't take him in that car. Put him in the car. Take him to the hospital. Okay. So they can help him out. Whatever's wrong with them. Okay. But what was saw was the fuse that was lit. This time it was no big old video camera. It was this that was used to film this death. And surprised that the young lady wasn't retaliated against, because usually when an officer does something stupid and it's filmed, the person who does the filming deals with retaliation. For example, Eric Garner. When he died, the person that filmed it ended up getting retaliated against by the NYPD. They arrested him, they threw him in jail for days at that time because they were caught murdering a man who was a business owner, a black business owner. Now, today, in this day and age, they're making martyrs out of criminals. Okay, fair enough. But when, like for example, names like Michael Brown, he was a criminal himself. He's like an officer. And what happened there was days and days and days of rioting and looting. Business were tore to the ground. And looking at this documentary of the 25-year anniversary of the LA riots, like today, like what went on today, businesses were burnt to the ground. People can't go back to work. Businesses were burnt to the ground. There was looting and rioting. It went from the Rodney King beating, which was anger over the verdict of not guilty. Okay, now people were angry. They were furious because there was no justice for Rodney King. Okay, 5 days of rioting, over $1 billion for the damage. People have died, and some were charged, did time. Reginald Denny, a white guy, a white truck driver, just driving through. Just driving through. He stopped, which was a big mistake. So he kept going, because if he would have stopped, he would have got attacked and jumped, maybe even killed. The only thing that happened was he got hit the brake. And the person that hit him the brake was sentenced to 10 years in prison. And when he got out, he still doesn't give a shit about the guy. 10 years after he got out. Years after he got out, he still doesn't give a shit about the guy he hit the brake. Feelings remain the same 29 years later. And it went from being angry at the verdict of what happened in the first trial. Yeah, people were angry, rioted, lasted 6 days. When it ended, the 4 were tried, 2 were sentenced to a few years in prison for violating Rodney King's civil rights. Now, it's same thing here. Okay, George Floyd died, Grant Taylor died, but it wasn't her fault. She was dating a Grant Taylor. The reason she was shot was her boyfriend fired at the cop. The cop fired back, hit her. Now, she should have gotten justice. But her boyfriend was a drug dealer who shot a cop at a cop. Now, what happens when you shoot at a cop? They're going to open up back at you. Dude fired one time. They fired back multiple times. Hit her. It hit her. Jacob Blake should have complied. Period. But getting shot in the back 7 times, that is way overboard, man. I mean, I could agree to that. But good thing is he's alive. I'll tell you what. Even though they made this guy a martyr, big mistake. He's alive. Will he sue? That area there will probably be in the gray. Now, like it happened in Los Angeles in 91, 92, Ferguson, and then what's going on around the country. It's no longer about the death of Floyd Taylor, the shooting of Blake, the death of Rayshard Brooks. It is much beyond that. This is like the Rodney King beating all over again. Businesses are getting destroyed. Neighborhoods are getting. I mean, come on, man. When will it all end? Okay, this is beyond. Okay, this is beyond. This is beyond. What's going on now? You have a Black Lives Matter global network. Okay, global network, and they're getting funding from 1,000 Currents and actually George Soros. Okay, but why is this organization a global network and they're getting all this money? That didn't happen 29 years ago. There was no global network in Los Angeles. There was a verdict that pissed off a lot of people in Los Angeles. Compton was Los Angeles. There was no global network. Nobody's getting millions of dollars to cause more damage and shit. This is where the RICO charge comes in. Yeah. BLM Global Network, now, that term, it's an organization, a criminal organization. They took over the name. It was about a peaceful movement, non-violent, no property damage, no fire starting. It was just a peaceful thing. Antifa got involved. The BLM movement, the organization, made a person. It's about Marxist bullshit. Okay, Marxist. I mean, why do you want to be this Marxist dipshit? I mean, you didn't see that in Ferguson. You didn't see a global network going in there, but you did see rioting and looting. There's a citizen of Ferguson live on tape said, yeah, there's people coming from out of state, out of town, coming in here looting and rioting and shit like that. Like, what the hell going on? Man? Like, what the hell? You know? This is straight up bullshit, man. how long will this take to end? You know, like you had the McCloskeys who were being charged with crime of defending themselves and their property because 300 people came in, destroyed a gate, trampled onto private property, and threatened McCloskeys and their dog, man. This has gone beyond all that. Seattle, Portland, Minneapolis, Philly, Detroit, Atlanta, Oakland, Los Angeles, again, Baltimore, man. These are Democrat-controlled cities. Kenosha, Wisconsin. This has gone far enough. Businesses are being destroyed. Why? I mean, just like yesterday, they started rioting again, looting again. Where is the business owner, man? Where are they at? They're going in looting stores and shit, man. Just because you're angry because the guy paid part of his bail? You're angry because he got bailed out? Big fucking deal. The guy is still getting charged, man. Yeah, you can be angry all you want because he got bailed out, but he's still charged with murder. He ain't going anywhere. He has to wear an ankle monitor. Is he a flight risk? I don't know. But he has to wear an ankle monitor, man. Some of you idiots out there that have not gotten the full story, man. You idiots that don't have, then some of you idiots that have not gotten a full blown report, you're getting it from a third party source that has not corroborated anything. Period. Okay? You're angry that George Floyd died the way he did. But also, he had drugs in his system. His autopsy state that he had drugs in his system. Okay? Rashard Brooks, you're angry about his death, but the guy was under the influence of alcohol. So what happened? Cops were charged. The cops are being charged with capital murder because this dumbass DA is running for re-election. So what happened? They burned down a Wendy's. A Wendy's, man, a fucking Wendy's, where somebody works there, and now they can't go back because there's no job for them to return to. And now they went after a garage repair shop, a garage, to burn it down. Now, what happened in 1991? Now, during the rioting, they started to loot Korean-owned businesses. Okay. Now they went from getting angry over the 4 officers who were acquitted. Someone called and complained about why is all the Korean people buying all the businesses? Who gives a shit? If they want to own a business, let them own a business. It should be your fucking concern on why the criminal, because they can afford it, you stupid bastard. Shit. It was 29 years ago. Okay? Now it's capitalism is racism. No. Capitalism is where you make a living busting your ass, putting food on the table for your family. Capitalism had nothing to do with racism. Okay, for example, when I was watching the documentary, a black guy had his business destroyed, crying and angry because some stupid motherfuckers decided to destroy a business owned by a black man who was raised in the ghetto. Bust his ass to own his own business. He became angry. Became angry, man. Angry. Now, it's like what happened in Minneapolis, okay? A black firefighter, okay, who also busted his ass, sick up his money, opened up his own business, a sports bar, okay? Burned to the ground. And while he was being interviewed, some hoodlums, some fake thugs tried to take off the safe. Let me ask this question to these fucked up, brainless morons who is looting, destroying, robbing businesses, and burning to the ground. What are you getting out of this? What are you getting out of destroying a business, attacking a business owner who's trying to protect his business, assaulting them, trying to kill them? What are you getting out of this? You assaulted a business owner who tried to protect his business from getting looted and robbed. The owners are getting beaten. Okay, there's an owner that got killed. Okay, got killed in his business, and this is what I don't get. You know, and then all of a sudden you have them going to neighborhoods, destroying homes, taking rocks and bricks and windows. What are you really getting out of this? Then you got these idiots harassing people that are trying to have a meal at a restaurant. Okay. Trying to have a meal at a restaurant, being harassed by idiots, demanding that they raise their fist and say, Black Lives Matter. Look, my question is this. Why is it worth going to a neighborhood, threatening somebody, trying to burn their home to the ground, terrorizing an entire neighborhood, which somebody in the neighborhood would have easily opened fire and put a round in a couple of kneecaps and shit. But you can't do that. You can't defend yourself. Why? Because here's what happened, okay? They call 911. They lie to their teeth. And the person who rightfully owns the weapon is in their house, okay? While green lights are coming in their home. They don't know if it's somebody with a sniper rifle that's nearby or from a distance. I would have acted the same way. I don't know who's about to put a round through my window where that green light is marking. How, how do I not know that there's more than one person out there ready to open up and fire in my home? That's the thing there. This has gone way too far. I mean, literally way too far. You know, you as an individual, whether you're a homeowner or business owner, and you own a firearm, and you legally own it, legally, you own it, it's registered, it's legal, and you got a permit for it. Under the Second Amendment, you have a right to defend your home. You have a right to defend your business. Okay, all these all these gin-salted, waffle-headed motherfuckers out there have no remorse on anybody at all, on anybody, period. But there has to be some common sense, okay? Common sense. In fact, these little bastards have no common sense. None at all. Okay? Now, I was about, 14, 15 when it happened. But what pisses me off is that you have people who work, who own a business, and they're all angry because Korean people in Koreatown and Los Angeles are angry over how come they're buying all the businesses on property. Because maybe they busted their ass off and and bought the building and property. They own it. It's called busting your ass. Okay, it's capitalism 101. You bust your ass, make enough money, you save enough money up, you open up your own business. Whether it's a laundromat, jewelry store, gun store, liquor store, gas station, don't fucking matter. You have a right to own your own business. You have a right to bust your ass, save up your money, open up your own business. Gas station, restaurant, convenience store, gun store, jewelry store, laundromat. You have a right to the fruit of your labor. You bust your ass, you put food on the table for your family. So down the line, when you retire, you have something to show for when you retire. And this is what's going on today. People who were working, who own their own business, have lost their job, that lost their business. The ones that business that weren't touched by looters and raiders, they're dealing with the COVID bullshit. They're dealing with the business being shut down, dealing with law enforcement putting their nose where it belong. For one thing, you as a business owner have a right to make money legally any way you see fit. If a business can't open because of the curfew, you can do it online. Now, for example, there's a lady who is trying to sell stuff online. Okay, can't open up because of curfew. Officers kept coming back to her business because curfew, lady, curfew. I'm working. We're working online. Can you say internet officer dipshit? Internet, eBay, Craigslist, Amazon, hello, officer cucksucker. And they're taking this a bit too far. Even if you sell online, there's nothing wrong with that. Sell it online, making money there. But in actuality, cops don't listen to damn anyway. So look, I respect cops. I respect what they do. But there's some that are not very smart. Okay, I guess, and I can understand they're frustrated because they're dealing with assholes who are pushing back in a very unconventional way. But I wish that these idiots that are pushing back in a very unconventional way to pull their head out of their ass, remove the shit from their ears and eyes, and actually listen and see what people are actually talking about, and actually have the mindset. Actually have the mindset before you loot someone's business and get shot for it. Don't just get a snippet of information and run with it. No. Get more information. Understand the information before you get stupid, man. It's like a third party telling you what someone said. But when you ask what did they say, they only give you parts of what they said. They didn't get the full information because they didn't listen what was told. This is what's happening with idiots that are looting and rioting. They didn't get the full information because the media didn't give the full information. They only get by hearsay, and they're running with that. They're running with the hearsay bullshit. Oh, it's hearsay. Okay, it's hearsay for what? Where's the rest of the information on the person that died? Okay, is there any more information? Yeah, I saw it on CNN. CNN is fake news. MSNBC is fake news. The whole entire major news networks are fake news. Now, what happened with George Floyd was sad, dude. The guy died horrible. But the knee on the neck didn't go for the officers. They deserve what they got. But there was more information that was being released by a coroner. The coroner released his findings. Okay, he did a full-blown autopsy of George Floyd. Now, just like Rayshard Brooks was under the influence of alcohol. If you're under the influence of alcohol in your system, don't drive, because alcohol and drugs will impair your decision and your motor skills behind the wheel. Lucky he went to Wendy's and drive-thru and fell asleep. But the DA should have gotten the full investigation. Okay, like the looters and rioters, the DA jumped the gun. He jumped the Grand Canyon, got a parachute. There should have been an investigation on the death of Rayshard Brooks. Nope. The DA jumped the gun. He jumped the Grand Canyon, the parachute. Now the officer is being charged with capital murder. This was wrong when the re-election campaign of a dumbass DA, even like Kim Gardner, that's a cunt. Investigation needs to be done. Let it happen. Okay, let it happen. Don't jump the gun, don't jump the shark, and surely don't jump the Grand Canyon without a parachute. Now, a lot of things have been really not really going well for the Democrats anyway. They're going to lose in November anyway. So when you look at within since Floyd's death to now, and that's what 6 months, 5 months. I mean, take down the statues. I'm at 10 years. Okay, touch the statue, knock it down. 10 years, you're fucked yourself. And since that ended good. Now it's a crime to defend yourself. So how come nobody in St. Louis is doing a recall on Kim Gardner? Okay, the DA in St. Louis that's charging the McCloskeys for defending themselves. But did you guys know that she paid to have the little handgun of Miss McCloskey's repaired and in working condition? She paid. When she had it in her hand and on her property, Miss McCloskey didn't work. So Peter came in, took their guns, but somehow Kim Gardner paid to have the gun fixed. Something is smelling fishy, and I hope it's not Hillary's vagina. That'll be really fucking nasty. I don't think anyone would want to eat rotten pasta and shit. So going back here, I mean, you've seen a lot of people U-Hauls. Now, my question is this: is U-Haul letting these idiots? Are they running them out, or are BLM and Antifa stealing these U-Haul trucks? How are they getting these trucks? Did they steal them? Did they run them out? How do they get this shit with all the stuff in the back of the damn truck? But I want to say this to the looters and rioters. I hope you're having your fun, because sooner or later it will come to an end. I want to see these little bastards get what's coming to them. Because it's not looking good for Democrats. The mob, leftist mob. I hope you all rat. Because you got these little bastards. These little bastards. They're cowards. Cowards. Now, what would happen? You send in the National Guard. See, the Democratic mayors in Portland, Seattle, Chicago, Minneapolis, and Louis cannot do a damn thing about it. Because this is federal shit. Or I'm here. And Kim Gardner can't do shit in St. Louis. She can't do fucking shit. She's a local DA. The one's federal, she's fucked. She's fucked. Now, what happened to the Missouri Attorney General and Governor? Now, my question is this. What would happen if the McCloskeys are found not guilty nor acquitted. Here's my prediction. What's going to happen is two things. Kim Gardner's going to do a appeal judge's decision. Okay. And also, they're going to go to the home of the McCloskeys. And they're going to try to kill that couple and burn the house to the ground. And they're going to make the area a zone. Zone. A no-go zone. But I just hope that they're acquitted, they're not guilty, and it blew up in Kim Gardner's face. And I'm gonna laugh. And I'm gonna go to I'm going to the nearest liquor store. I'm gonna buy a 6-pack of Corona with lime and salt. I'm gonna enjoy. I'm gonna celebrate. I'm gonna give the middle finger to Kim Gardner and say, "Told you so, bitch. Told you so." Because these DAs are getting paid by George Soros. Coming out. George Soros is going to fail again. Okay, he's going to fail again. BLM and Antifa are also going to fail again because they're failures. They're failures in life. They are their parents' disappointment, and they should rot in prison until the day they fucking die. Rot in prison. Looting, arson, murder, assault. Whole shebang. I hope the ones that are arrested and locked up, I hope they get years with no parole. See, the only difference between the riots in Los Angeles in 1982 to Ferguson in and the riots here in 2020 is that there was no Black Lives Matter movement. It was just a city full of people who were angry, but they used that anger in the wrong way. Over $1 billion worth of damage. Close to 40 people have died. Businesses were destroyed. Gone. Totally gone. Because a city full of imbeciles who couldn't put their emotions in check out, be angry, but don't take it out on businesses, someone's home, or somebody. Because they had nothing to do with the verdict. It was awesome. You had black people who owned a business destroyed. Korean people had their own business destroyed. They had a gun shop and jewelry store. What does looting have anything to do with someone's death or someone's acquittal? All you're doing is letting your emotions get the best of you, motherfuckers. You're destroying someone's business who spent years saving to open it up, to be a part of the community and shit. And was it worth it? Was it worth it? What if somebody did that to your business and you're about to open it up? You can't because it burnt to the ground. Before you jump the gun, before you jump the shark, and before you jump the Grand Canyon without a parachute, get the full information. Look, don't listen to the media. They're garbage, okay? Cable news media, don't listen to them. They're garbage. Do your own research. Find your own information. Because it's all about propaganda. They're not journalists, they're activists for the Democratic Party. Fuck them. This needs to end in a peaceful, civil way. Okay, look, I'm going to be honest here. Biden will lose. Biden will lose. Kamala Harris is just another cunt in DC politics. At the end of the day, the looters and rioters will have a target on their back sooner or later. Because they all know they're going to be in a group, protecting one another. But when they're in another position, they're going to end up in intensive care in the infirmary, nursing their wounds. Because reality just kicked their ass. They won't like it at all. This is good old Grandmaster Robin here. This is the Anonymous Bourbon Network. And this is also the Anonymous Liberty Media podcast on Anchor.fm. Check me out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Castbox Breaker, Radio Republic, Stitcher. Also, check out this channel. If you're new to this channel, please leave a like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, and don't forget to hit the bell for notification. And if you got this transmission, you are part of the resistance. I'm Grandmaster Evan. Always a healthy world wives. I love you guys. Remember, knowledge is free, knowledge is power. And I'll see you all in the next broadcast. Peace and Godspeed.